Hello everyone, Danny here today, joined by my beautiful wife Sonya, to tell you about a book series that we found, I found for us. We had a road trip and the first book in the series was offered as an Audible daily deal, and I thought, hey, it'll be kind of fun, definitely a chicky looking book, but if it's not too bad, it'll be a good book for both of us. And I think we both really liked it. She went straight through. There's 5 books in this series. 4 of them are on Audible. She went straight through the 4, actually stopped in the middle of a book she was listening to. Took me a little bit longer to get through it. The series I'm talking about is the Guild Codex, written by Annette Marie and narrated by Cris Dukart. Before I get into that, though, I have a favor to ask. If, like me and like my wife Sonya, you love audiobooks, please subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications, join us on our audiobook journey. So when I first put the book on, were you surprised that I picked a book like that?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't think that I was going to I don't know. I thought it was going to be too violent and just not my style.
It's not all. I had already listened to part of the book before I suggested it for us. And the opening of book 1 is just one of the best openings in any book at all for anyone who's ever worked in the restaurant industry. I've managed restaurants for years, and there's an opening scene. So it stars Tori, who's this redhead who has this red-headed temper.
Yes.
And she really needs a job where she can treat customers the way they deserve to be treated, and you're introduced to her in this restaurant setting where she treats a customer the way they deserve to be treated, the way any of us who worked in a restaurant have wanted to treat our customers at times. And of course she gets fired. And I mean, for me, the best part of the book was definitely Tori. It was definitely her attitude. Now, as a guy listening to it, you do have to put up with a bit of her drooling over other guys, but it's not really bad. I have listened to books that are definitely worse than this. I mean, any guy that shows her abs and has a good set of abs is going to have her drooling. I mean,
she's a little obsessed.
Yeah.
With all 3 of them, definitely.
Well, and then in one of the later books, so we've done all 4 books. In one of the later books, there's the dark, what's he called? The dark druid that gets introduced.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, I mean,
and he's also hot. He's also good looking.
Yes, yeah, everyone's hot and good looking in the book. I mean, if I wasn't as good looking as I am, it would probably give me an inferiority complex. But I'm amazing looking enough that I can handle it. So, but it's a lot of books that are like what I call chicky style books, where you've got a heroine as the main character, and she's going to be drooling over guys. You got to put up with a lot of her internal monologue, a lot of her back and forth between this boy and that boy, and a lot of her obsessing about their abs or their biceps or this, that, and the other. You get a little bit of her, getting hot and bothered by how good looking the guys are, or, maybe they've taken their shirt off or whatever. You don't get the internal dialogue.
No, I think it's pretty calm, actually. And I think it's more funny, reflective. Yeah, that's what I love about her. She's sassy, super sassy. And that's the funny part about her. I like that. Yeah, and I love that part about her.
A very, very sassy person. And I like the 3 guys, the 3 mages that, she ends up becoming best friends with.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I'm curious to see. And I don't know about you, but I'm curious to see as the story, because this is going to be a series we're going to keep up with, where is her love interest eventually going to land? Because other than Kai, it's been kind of shared with everyone.
I think I have an idea, but I could be proven wrong in the end.
What do you think it is?
I think it's
You got Aaron, you got Kai.
Not Aaron and not Kai. The other one.
Yeah, the other guy. I think it's probably going to end up being the other guy.
Yeah.
Too. So the first book, you're given hints that this guy might not be everything he seems to be, and then in the 4th book, it's revealed who he truly is, and he's not everything that he's made out to be up until that point. Another thing I like about the book is Tori. So she's what they call a human, and a human is a term for anyone who's not magical. So if you're just a normal person like us, you're humans. And did you, like me, I kept expecting her to turn out to have some hidden secret magic.
Yeah, I thought they were going to make it out that she had some secret power that she just figured out, or they figured out, they knew when she didn't know. But it doesn't seem to be that way.
No, it doesn't seem to be that. She does get accepted into the magical community, but it makes sense how it would work, and it's not like some great secret revealed kind of a thing.
No, it's more like she wanted it, so it was almost like gifted to her, if I understood that correctly. You think?
I don't think it's so much that it was gifted to her as just she's this full steam ahead. Damn the consequences, I'm going to say what I'm going to say, do what I'm going to do, hit who I'm going to hit. I mean, there's no subtlety about Tori, and she gets herself into situations that other people wouldn't get themselves into because they'd be too cautious. And she manages to work herself out of them with help with others. But as a result, she ends up gaining some magical friends that get her accepted into the magical community. And actually, I don't know if is she going to turn out to have powers based on these familiars that she now has, or?
I don't know. I mean, they have attached to her, which is interesting because if you're not magical, why would they attach to you? So that part is the part that's been interesting to see if it comes out that she has some hidden.
Well, but the excuse me, the Dark Druid explains that in one of the books. He explains that's why, like, druids and demon mancers, they incorporate the powers of other beings because they don't have magical powers on their own, so they have to incorporate other beings. Oh. That's why demon mancers have to use demons to gain their power. Okay. It's because they don't have any on their own. So that's why she's put herself in these positions where she's come into contact with, and like Twiggy. Yeah. I mean, most people would have run terrified from Twiggy, right? Yeah. And did she run terrified from Twiggy? No. Nope. And so now Twiggy's her friend because she handles it in a situation that only she would have handled it. Only Tori would have handled the situation that way. I really like Twiggy too. Yeah. Twiggy's cool. I think this is a book that would make a really good TV series. Yeah, definitely. I think you could have a lot of fun with this one as a TV series. Narrator does a really good job. I really like the choice of narrator. She's got good inflection. You can tell who's speaking when they're speaking. It's a female narrator, and she does a good enough job with the guys' voices that you don't feel like they're, some narrators, like guys, there are some guy narrators when they try to do female voices, it just sounds too masculine. It doesn't sound like a female voice. There are some female narrators who they can't get the male voice down. She does a good job. They all sound like what I would picture them sounding like from their character in the book, right? And nobody sounds the same. You don't think one person is the same. Right. Two people are the same. They all sound different. And there's so many different characters. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And it's very descriptive for each power that each person has, each mage, each witch. It's very descriptive, very colorful. Yeah. And the action's pretty intense. Yeah. For some of the scenes. Well, and on that note, I always warn about anything parental caution wise. There's some, not really sexy scenes, but how would you describe them? I think they're definitely not age appropriate for all children, for sure. You would have to be a little bit older to have we wouldn't have had our boys listen to it when they were younger. No, our boys wouldn't have been interested in this book, quite honestly. No, they are now. They might now, but they wouldn't have then. No. Yeah. This is not a little boy book at all. They'd be gross. Yeah, definitely higher teenage up. Yeah. Yeah, because she daydreams about them. She doesn't actually have sex with, up to this point, she hasn't had sex with anyone in the book. So there's no actual sex, but it's more like she lusts after them kind of a thing. And there are some what would be risque scenes in a movie or a TV show, like when she jumps into the shower with a dark druid.
Yeah.
I mean, she's fully clothed, but that would be a really risque scene in a TV show or a movie.
Well, and I also think that there's probably, depending on how you feel about magic, some of the magic's a little dark. And it gets a little dark and definitely serious. So
well, and like I know people that would be offended by this book because it has fortune telling in it. One of her friends is a fortune teller, and they use tarot cards in the book. So stuff like that parents might want to be warned about that is in there. Some parents would be bothered by it. Some parents wouldn't be bothered by it. That's for you to decide.
Yeah,
and do you have anything more you'd like to add?
No, I think it's an excellent book. Tori is hysterical. She has some emotional baggage that she's carrying from her childhood she's working through. And I think that's why she puts herself in so many positions that the average normal person would not, because she kind of has a disregard for her own safety and self-worth. But she's coming into that throughout all 4 series. So I think she's learning that over time.
Yeah, it actually makes her character makes me think of a book I listened to, The Fighter's Mind, I think it's called. I did do a book review on it. But he talks about that a lot of your fighters, your professional fighters, have a lot of baggage that they're carrying with them. They have a lot of pent-up anger, and that's what comes out. And not all fighters do, but a lot of fighters do. That's why they fight, they've got this pent-up anger. Well, she's a redhead, and she's got that personality that redheads are supposed to have, but she also has the whole personal baggage from her dad and her brother and some other stuff. And there's some hints in there that she may have had a really pretty horrific childhood from her dad and everything.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if it was like physical abuse, but definitely verbal and emotional abuse. I don't know if they hint to anything like that. But so some of that, depending on your background situation, might be bothersome in the book, but it's fairly low key, but it is hinted at. So, yeah.
Regardless, it is a good enough book that we finished the first book.
Definitely.
She immediately had me buy 3 more credits and get the next 3 books. And then soon as those books were done, she's like going into every bookstore we can find, trying to find that 5th book to buy it.
We have to buy it because I'm just dying to listen to the last book. Yeah.
And see me, I'll wait for it to come out on Audible. And who knows? And Annette Marie she's actually got quite a few books.
She's very good. She's a very good author.
Audible, so we might check some more of hers out.
Yep.
Anyhow, if you like the video, hit the like button. If you like my channel, subscribe. Turn on notifications. Questions, comments, feedback, it's what the comment section is for. Put them in there. But most importantly, no matter what else you do today, make sure that today you listen to at least one really good audiobook. And both my gorgeous wife and I highly recommend the Guild Codex. I have to take notes. I'm an old guy. The Guild Codex by Annette Marie. Thank you.